All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking a really radical and honestly kind of uncomfortable shift in how we interact with AI in the business world. We're looking at a very specific AI agent skill called outcome-first decisions. Now look, if you're used to firing up your favorite AI tool and having it act like your personal cheerleader, telling you your ideas are just brilliant and instantly writing up a 50-page business plan for you, well, prepare for a bit of a shock. We are shifting entirely away from AI that motivates you and looking at an AI framework that absolutely forces real, undeniable business results. Let's get into it.
Okay, check out this quote. Most AI tools sold to founders are productivity theater dressed as productivity. Wow. That perfectly diagnoses a massive modern trap, doesn't it? It's literally challenging us to look in the mirror. You've got to ask yourself, are the tools you're using actually helping you build a sustainable, profitable business? Or are they just generating documents and summaries that make you feel incredibly busy and important without you actually validating your market? This whole framework argues that most AI is basically just making a busy person feel busier, just in a much more impressive way.
And here's the exact distinction we're talking about. On the left, you have typical AI. It's built to soften the blow when your evidence is weak. You give it a half-baked idea, and what does it do? It generates roadmaps, massive feature lists, and just pure hype. It gives you exactly what you want to hear. But on the right, outcome-first AI operates with, frankly, uncompromising truth. It refuses to cheerlead. Instead, it demands actual buyer evidence. It forces you to pick just one single scoreboard number. And perhaps most ruthlessly of all, it forces you to set kill criteria before you spend any more time or money. It's survival over ego, plain and simple.
To really break this down, here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We'll start with the death of productivity theater. Look at the outcome-first mindset, explore the buyer evidence ladder, see this skill in action, dive into radical AI accountability, and then finally, show you exactly how to get started.
So, Section 1, Death to Productivity Theater.
Let's just address the elephant in the room about how we've all been misusing our digital assistants. It is so incredibly easy to sit at your desk, type a quick prompt, and just watch an AI spit out a beautiful, comprehensive business plan, right? It drafts these overarching strategies, produces endless, sprawling feature roadmaps, and tells you your idea has huge potential. But here is the hard truth from our source material: literally, none of that is real work. It actively helps you avoid the terrifying, hard work of actual market validation. It creates this really dangerous illusion where you feel super productive, but you haven't actually asked a single human being to pull out their wallet and pay you.
Moving right along to Section 2, the outcome-first mindset. If we strip away all that theater, what are we actually left with? Well, we're left with an AI that flat out refuses to play along unless you meet its demands. These are the 4 absolute, non-negotiable steps this outcome-first skill forces on you before it will even consider your business idea valid. Number 1, you must have a named buyer. And no, not some vague demographic, a specific type of person. Number 2, you must pick one measurable scoreboard number. No vanity metrics allowed here. Number 3, it forces a 7-day proof test. You don't get 3 months to go hide and code. You get 7 days to prove someone actually cares. And number 4, and honestly, this is the hardest one, it requires a written kill criterion. You have to write down exactly what failure looks like so you know exactly when to pull the plug and stop wasting your life on a bad idea.
Which leads us to Section 3, the buyer evidence ladder. This is the core analytical mechanism behind this entire framework. Think of it like a lie detector test for your market demand. The AI evaluates every single claim you make based on this 8-rung ladder. And notice the massive divide here. On the left side, we have rungs 1 through 3, opinions, compliments, and clicks. The AI uses these strictly for test design, because if someone just says, "Oh, I love your idea," or clicks a link, that is extremely low-value evidence. You are absolutely not allowed to build a product based on that. But on the right side, we have rungs 6 through 8, referrals to a named buyer, actual deposits or signed contracts, and retained usage. The AI demands this hard, cold, financial evidence before it will ever tell you to justify building, hiring, or scaling. It literally never confuses a compliment for a contract.
All right, Section 4, the skill in action.
Let's make this totally concrete and see exactly how this ruthless AI breaks down a typical pitch. So, imagine you go to your AI and you ask this: should I build a SaaS for freelance designers to manage client feedback rounds? Designers waste hours chasing approvals, so I want to build a tool for it. Now, think about that for a second. It sounds like a pretty great idea, right? A standard AI would immediately be like, yes, freelance designers are a growing market. Here are 10 features you should code right now. But let's see how outcome-first decisions handles it. Bam, The AI just hits you with a brisk 6-part teardown. First up, the verdict. Test first. Do not build. The reasoning? Your offer is entirely unvalidated and your buyer is way too loosely defined. The evidence? You're only operating at rung 1 or 2. It's basically just your own opinion and observations at this point. Then it gives you the proof test, a 7-day cash proof sprint. It literally tells you to offer a 14-day approval cycle audit to freelance designers for $250 paid up front. The kill criterion? If you reach out to 25 people and get 0 paid audits, the pain simply isn't painful enough. You stop. Finally, your next action is simply to write that 25-name outreach list today. Do you see what just happened here? It completely stopped you from spending 6 months coding a tool nobody wants and forced you to ask for cash today. Incredible.
Now for Section 5, Radical AI Accountability. This is where we shift to the advanced features, and honestly, where it gets a little personal. Because this tool doesn't just evaluate your ideas, it evaluates you. 42%. This represents the AI's calibration feature. Every single time you make a prediction, the AI logs it with your stated confidence level. Let's say you tell the AI, hey, I am 80% confident these validation calls will convert. The AI logs that. But over time, the AI actually tracks your real hit rate. If it turns out you only succeed 42% of the time, the AI exposes that reality. So the next time you claim 80% confidence, the AI mathematically discounts your future optimism based on your own track record. It strips away your delusions and forces you to look at your actual performance.
And it actually goes even further with the blind spot register. Imagine typing in a new project idea, and the AI actively intervenes in line with this message. You typically commit to building before rung 6. The current case is at rung 3. Make this a test. It literally watches your behavioral blind spots. It notices your bad habits, like skipping crucial validation rungs just because you want to get to the fun part of building. It doesn't judge you or label you, but it actively surfaces these observations to keep you honest right in the moment.
And then there's crisis mode. This is one of the most dramatic parameters of the whole system. If you happen to mention to the AI that you have under 90 days of runway, or you just missed payroll, or you lost your biggest customer, the AI instantly triggers crisis mode. It strips away all the theoretical strategy, all those scoring tables, all the evidence ladder discussions. It recognizes that in a crisis, full strategy frameworks are themselves just busy work. It compresses its output entirely to give you a raw verdict, 3 immediate hour-level actions to take today, and a stark business closing dollar threshold. It shifts instantly from business planning to pure, raw survival.
Finally, Section 6, How to Get Started. Let's wrap this up by defining exactly who this tool is built for, because there's a really sharp contrast here. It is for you if your absolute scarcest resource is decisive attention. If you're a founder who needs to validate before building, an operator who needs to cut before hiring, or a creator who measures actual paying buyers instead of just counting free subscribers. But listen, it is absolutely not for you if you just want a digital cheerleader. If you want a fluffy strategy memo, a 5-page pitch deck, or if you really just need some encouragement to start, this AI will frustrate you endlessly. It's built for operators who want fewer wrong decisions per quarter.
Now, if you are in that first camp, here are the technical details. The skill is entirely open source under the AGPL-3.0 license. It's super lightweight, roughly a 100 kilobyte single zip file. You can download it directly from the GitHub releases page under the author's repository. And it's totally compatible with your favorite agent environments, whether that's Claude Code, Codex, OpenAI Agents, or Cursor. You simply unzip it right into your agent skills directory. Once it's installed, you just invoke it by typing use the outcome first decision skill 2, followed by your situation. It is really that direct. So we come to the final question. Are you ready to let AI kill your darlings? It's a pretty provocative challenge, I know, but it really leaves us wondering if we truly have the discipline to trade our comforting, AI-generated illusions for hard, uncompromising business truths. The tools are out there right now to force us to be better, more accountable founders and operators. The question is, are we brave enough to actually use them? Think about that as you sit down to plan your next big project. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to go look at your own workflows today and honestly ask yourself, what rung of the ladder are you truly operating on? Catch you next time.